Hello everyone, it's Spurs Radio 96 here, and welcome to the 13th episode of the FIFA 20 Borussia Mönchengladbach career mode. We begin today's episode with Bundesliga action here at the Commerzbank Arena, where the Fohls will be up against Eintracht Frankfurt. If you haven't checked out the last episode, I advise you do so, but we had a mixed bag of an episode, to be honest. We destroyed AC Milan in the first leg of the round 16 stage of the UEFA Europa League 4-0, but then we suffered a very costly home defeat to Borussia Dortmund, which means that Borussia Mönchengladbach sit in 5th position on 47 points. Red Bull Leipzig occupy 4th place. As you can see there from the table, Eintracht Frankfurt sit in 11th place with with 28 points. So not the best of seasons for a team which I thought would be competing for the European places, well, at least be in the race for the European places. But it's not to be, but I'm sure they can get back in the fight to at least get a top 10 position, especially with the rain starting to come down in their own stadium. I'm sure it's going to be, well, it'll be tough for the away side. And of course, the last time we played Eintracht Frankfurt was, you have to go a while back, where we won 7-1 at Borussia Park. Andre Silva scored 4 goals that day. And that means that so far is our biggest victory in the Bundesliga this season, 7-1. And hopefully we could replicate that in the Bundesliga in today's match. But it'll be difficult, as you can see from the lineup there. They're going for a 3-5-2 formation. And as you can see from Mönchengladbach, the reserve team that comes into play, of course, for new boys, Yuri Mina from Everton, Marcus Terrier from Olympique Lyonnais, Tomiskas as well, the left back from Olympiacos. They're starting to get to grips with playing in the top league of German football. So let's get on to the first half highlights, specifically the 6th minute, where Eintracht Frankfurt have their first corner. In it goes. Bastos heads it wide. Patrick Herrmann's got the ball. Oh no! And Patrick Herrmann's given it straight back. He's given the ball straight back to Bastos, and Eintracht Frankfurt take an early lead. Past 7 minutes. A disastrous start for Borussia Mönchengladbach. Patrick Herrmann managed to get the ball from Bastos, originally heading it wide, but he gave it straight back to Bastos. Presumably he was trying to pass it to Strobel there for number 5, but Bastos immediately saw it was going to... could see what Patrick Herrmann was going to do with the ball, and he got the ball, and what a brilliant strike it was, first time taking the shot, and Bastos has put Mönchengladbach on the back foot here. His 11th goal of the season, and on 8 minutes, it's Eintracht Frankfurt 1, Borussia Mönchengladbach 0. Not good at all. On to the 12th minute, and Mönchengladbach have given the ball away. They're nowhere near been as good as Frankfurt in these early stages. Here's Dost again. Muriel, and he's given the ball back to Dost, and he's going to take a strike. It's 2-0 to Eintracht Frankfurt. They're running away with it in the first half. It's 2-0 coming up to 15 minutes, and Bastos is tearing apart Mönchengladbach and maybe ending their hopes of getting into the Champions League. Bastos, another brilliant strike. He's on fire for Eintracht Frankfurt in this match. Mönchengladbach have been nowhere near the races. Bastos has got 2 goals in this match and 12 in the Bundesliga. It's Eintracht Frankfurt 2, Borussia Mönchengladbach 0. On to the 33rd minute. Mönchengladbach have the ball and could create a chance here. Stindl, and he's passed it to Marcus Terrier, and he's at the bar. How unlucky is Terrier there? On to the added time of the first half. Here comes Marcus Mbolo, and he's given a brilliant pass to Strobel, and he's got the ball, and he's put it into the net. Brilliant strike, and Borussia Mönchengladbach, in the dying seconds of the first half, have a glimmer of hope here at the Commerzbank Arena. A goal totally against the run of play. Eintracht Frankfurt have been dominating this first half, but Mönchengladbach, out of nothing, are back in this match thanks to a great pass, I must say, from Mbolo. Brilliant vision to find Strobel in space without any players interfering him. And Strobel took a great strike there, despite the eventuality of the Frankfurt players charging after him and creating some problems. But Tobias Strobel has got his 2nd goal of the season of the Bundesliga, and his Eintracht Frankfurt 2, Borussia Mönchengladbach 1. A slimmer of hope for the Foles as the half-time whistle goes. Borussia Mönchengladbach, though, very bad performance, I must say. Eintracht Frankfurt have been the far better side. They've shown much more purpose in their play. They've shown more commitment and determination to get the ball off us and create chances. We have not been at the races at all. But we've got a glimmer of hope thanks to a late goal in the first half from Strobel. But at half-time, it's Eintracht Frankfurt 2, Borussia Mönchengladbach 1. Still all to do. Onto the second half just starting, and Mönchengladbach have the ball. And you could sense there's their play is different. They want to get forward, and here's Mbolo. Look at the pace. And Mbolo's going to take a strike, and it's gone into the net. And Borussia Mönchengladbach have levelled the game out of nowhere. What a start to the second half for the Foles. The comeback really is on. 2-0 down. It's now 2-2 in a matter of minutes. Mönchengladbach certainly look a different certainly look a different side coming out into the second half. They have a sense of purpose and determination to clean up the mess they created in the first half, and Breel Mbolo with a brilliant strike. He's now got 8 goals for the season, and that will have stunned Eintracht Frankfurt. It's now 2-2. What a crazy game. On to the 56th minute. That's a great ball over the top there, and Vestergaard's made a mistake, and Luis Muriel's got the ball for Frankfurt. It's another goal. Luis Muriel's got the ball, and he strikes it beautifully into the net, and Eintracht Frankfurt are back in front in the second half. It's another blow for Mönchengladbach. Vestergaard made a horrible mistake there, tried to get the ball but failed, and Luis Muriel, with the pace and power he has, no one could stop him, not even the keeper Sapel. And Mönchengladbach have it all to do again. It's another mountain to climb. We need 2 goals just to win this match. Luis Muriel scores his first goal of the season at the Bundesliga. What a time to get it. And it's Eintracht Frankfurt 3, Borussia Mönchengladbach 2. And the full-time whistle goes. Eintracht Frankfurt have managed to scrape the victory. Second half was more even between the two sides, but Mönchengladbach, how costly could those terrible mistakes by Patrick Herrmann in the first half, and particularly Vestergaard in the second, after Mönchengladbach did all the hard work from coming from 2-0 down to bring it level, only to be shot back down again from a strike from Luis Muriel, and that is a bitter pill to swallow for the Foles. Full time at the Commerzbank Arena. It's Eintracht Frankfurt 3, Borussia Mönchengladbach 2. Not good at all. But we have to put that Bundesliga disappointment aside once again, as we have to focus on the UEFA Europa League, specifically the second leg here at Milan, the San Siro against AC Milan. AC Milan will need a bit of a miracle themselves after they lost 4-0 in the first leg. As you can see, there's advantages there for the likes of Chelsea, Wolfsburg, Strasbourg, Lazio, Borussia Dortmund and Manchester United. So certainly going to be a tough match here at the San Siro. So AC Milan will surely just be playing for pride. I mean, they'll need a miracle to get to the quarterfinals. Borussia Mönchengladbach is like business as usual, really. You can treat it like a training exercise or a friendly match because, well, it was just like at Rangers, really. When we won 4-1 at Rangers, we just cruised home in the second leg. Not much fuss. Hopefully that will be the same this time around at the San Siro. But, of course, AC Milan are a far stronger side than Rangers, that's for sure. And I still think they pose a threat, despite the fact we thrashed them 4-0 at Borussia Park. And as you can see by the lineup, full of quality, but they need to show that quality on the pitch rather than show it on paper. As for Mönchengladbach, the first team does indeed return, and Andre Silva will be looking forward to getting more goals in the UEFA Europa League. It was a goal feast, really, shared between all the players. I mean, Hazard got on the score sheet, as did Christoph Kramer, Asani Play, and Andre Silva. On to the first half highlights on the 29th minute, and AC Milan have the ball here. Ortega's crossed it in, and always a bit of confusion at the back. And oh no, it's gone in. Bonaventura's put it in. And AC Milan have a glimmer of hope in the UEFA Europa League. AC Milan strike first at the San Siro. Look at it, ricochet. The ball went for a ricochet. Players mad panic stations at the back for Mönchengladbach, and also panic stations for the attackers of AC Milan. And Bonventuri managed to take advantage of that melee, and AC Milan have a bit of hope here. Bonventuri scores his second goal of the UEFA Europa League, and that certainly brought the fans' spirits up a little bit. It's AC Milan 1, Mönchengladbach 0. On the 33rd minute, Mönchengladbach have the ball, and here comes Andre Silva from a great pass to Masani. Play! And it's gone in off the post, and Mönchengladbach have got a critical away goal, and that surely ends AC Milan's faint hopes of progressing to the quarterfinals, and surely ensures Mönchengladbach's hopes of getting to the next round. Look at that, Andre Silva, great pass from Asane Play, and Andre Silva, a great strike. Luckily the ball came off the inside of the post and went over the line, and Andre Silva has got Mönchengladbach's critical away goal, and that is surely game over in this round of 16 tie. Andre Silva's incredible goal-scoring form in Europe continues. That is his 13th goal in the Europa League, and it's AC Milan 1, Borussia Mönchengladbach 1, 5-1 on aggregate. And there goes the first half highlights. Even Stevens, I would say, in the first half of the second leg. Both teams willing to give it a go and have a bit of fun. But surely that, but yeah. The tie itself has been wrapped up thanks to a good strike from Andre Silva, and at half time it's AC Milan 1, Borussia Mönchengladbach 1. On to the 56th minute, Mönchengladbach have the ball here. Here's Marcus Thuram, look at the pace, and he's crossed it in, and oh, it's gone in, brilliant strike, and it's Andre Silva again. He loves scoring away in the UEFA Europa League, and Mönchengladbach have come from behind to lead at the San Siro. It's now 6-1 on aggregate. Just how many can Mönchengladbach score against the former European champions? Great cross from Marcus Thuram. Pinpoint cross. Brilliant volley from Andre Silva. Of course, Andre Silva is a former AC Milan player, so he's playing in some familiar surroundings of the magnificent San Siro Stadium. And Andre Silva and the players of Mönchengladbach are now just having a bit of fun now in the second half, enjoying themselves, toying with AC Milan. It's 14 goals for Andre Silva in the Europa League. It's now 6-1 on aggregate, 2-1 on the night. 67th minute, Mönchengladbach are starting to run away with this. AC Milan don't have an answer to what Mönchengladbach are doing. Here's Forgan Hazard passing the ball around. Is Asane Play, and Nuos has the ball here, and he's in the box, and it's another strike in the net for Mönchengladbach. The ball's in the back of the net. 3-1 now at the San Siro. AC Milan are getting destroyed. It's 6-1 on aggregate. Boos ring around for San Siro. Mönchengladbach make it look so easy, make it look so effortless. AC Milan just don't have an answer to anything that Mönchengladbach are possessing in terms of attacking play. It was even Stevens in the first half, and Mönchengladbach have just come out stronger than AC Milan in the second. Simple as that. And the 7-time champions of Europe are getting an emphatic beating on their home turf. And Florent Nuos scores his second goal of the UEFA Europa League. And Milan ring in the changes as it's 3-1 on 71 minutes. On the 79th minute, AC Milan have the ball for a change. Here's Leo. In the box he is, trying to find ways, and Leo's passed it in, and Rebic gets AC Milan on the score sheet in the second half. It's 3-2. The players aren't celebrating, neither are the fans. Well, at least it looks the scoreline in the second leg looks a bit more respectable. Certainly doesn't change anything in the tie. And judging by the emotions of the fans and the players and their body language, it shows that they don't really give a crap about this Europa League anymore. They just want to get it over and done with. But at least Rebic is on the score sheet for the first time in the round of 16. Rebic on loan from Eintracht Frankfurt scores his 4th goal of the Europa League. And on the night it's AC Milan 2, Mönchengladbach 3. And on to the 84th minute, Mönchengladbach have the ball from the throw-in. Andre Silva's got the ball and he's passed it. And in the net it goes, and it's Christoph Kramer strikes again against AC Milan. It's 4-2 to Mönchengladbach. 8-2 on aggregate. Mönchengladbach. Well, I wasn't expecting this. I mean, we scored a 6 against Rangers in the round 32 stage. We've gone even better in the round of 16 stage. We've scored 8. This is incredible. 4 in the first leg and 4 in the second leg. AC Milan look like a shadow of their former selves. And it's rather sad to see AC Milan absolutely, well, getting battered in the tie, let alone in their home turf. Christoph Kramer scores once again in the Europa League. I think his 3rd goal in the Europa League, and it's 4-2 to the Foles. And the second half finishes for Borussia Mönchengladbach. A disastrous performance from AC Milan. They'll have to do some serious thinking on and off the pitch to compete in European football next season. Their hopes of European glory end in disastrous disappointment. The Foles destroyed AC Milan here, 4-2 at the San Siro, as well as 4-0 in the first leg. Second half, Mönchengladbach were by far the better side. And the full-time whistle, full-time, it's AC Milan 2, Borussia Mönchengladbach 4, 8-2 on aggregate. So that would have certainly lifted the confidence of the players, wouldn't it, as we progress to the final game of the episode here at Borussia Park, with the Rangers starting to come down. A huge match in the Bundesliga, this time against Bayer Leverkusen, who are 2nd in the Bundesliga. And if you must know, Borussia Mönchengladbach are now have dropped another position in the league. They are now down to 6th place. It is not going well at all for Mönchengladbach at this stage in terms of their hopes of getting into the Champions League. But Bayer Leverkusen come with a pretty good reputation, the best away record in the league, collecting 37 points on their travels. No wonder at the moment they're Bayern Munich's main rivals for the championship. So Mönchengladbach cannot afford another defeat here on our home turf, let alone in general, because well, if we lose against Bayer Leverkusen, it will be 4 games without a win and 3 straight defeats. I mean, we lost to Borussia Dortmund, which was a big blow. We lost to Eintracht Frankfurt, which was even more of a big blow. So we cannot afford any more mistakes, cannot afford any more calamities at the back, no more individual mistakes. The players have to come together and deliver on the pitch. Let's take a look then at Bayer Leverkusen's side. As you can see, Nathan Ake there at the back from AFC Bournemouth. Jorginho Wijnaldum there from Liverpool. Gabriel Jesus from Manchester City, and Marcus Thuram, or Torvan, who came from Marseille, I think. So a pretty star-studded lineup for Bayer Leverkusen, and rightly so. On to the first half highlights, the 8th minute. Oh, Andre Silva goes down. And the captain of Bayer Leverkusen is... What's the fate going to be here? The referee will decide. It's a red. It's a red, and Seven Bender, the captain of Bayer Leverkusen, is sent off in less than 10 minutes. And that has a huge impact on the match. Mönchengladbach surely have the upper hand here. Bad tackle there from the captain, and Bayer Leverkusen bringing the changes on the 10th minute. Bayer Leverkusen have to go for a completely different approach. Mönchengladbach could go on the same approach, attack. And here is Christoph Kramer on a sunny play. Thought he's going to take a strike. Marcus Thuram, he's passed it back to play. Oh, it's gone in, it's bundled into the net. And Mönchengladbach lead for 10 men of Bayer Leverkusen. That is a huge, huge goal. And the Champions League hopes are back on track. And maybe Bayer Leverkusen's chances of the title might start to derail. Mönchengladbach just toying with the defence there, passing it. Brilliant build-up play. Great fun, but look at that. Players enjoying themselves. Masani took the strike. It was deflected in from one of the Bayer Leverkusen players. But with Bayer Leverkusen down to 10 men, Mönchengladbach will be full of confidence, especially after their exploits in Europe. Masani got his 10th goal of the season. And just past 10 minutes, or 14 minutes, it's Borussia Mönchengladbach 1, Leverkusen 0. 28th minute. And all Bayer Leverkusen have given the ball away to Marcus Thuram. And Andre Silva's got the ball. He's in space. Ake's trying to keep up with him, but he can't do anything about it. Andre Silva puts the ball in the back of the net. And Borussia Mönchengladbach increased their lead on 30 minutes. Bayer Leverkusen could be in for a very long and tortuous afternoon, thanks to their captain's disastrous tackle on Andre Silva. And Andre Silva scores his first Bundesliga goal since Mönchengladbach thrashed Red Bull Leipzig 4-0. That will give him some confidence on the domestic front. And it certainly means that Mönchengladbach are heading for 3 points, no doubt. Andre Silva gets his 9th goal of the Bundesliga. It's 2-0 in 30 minutes. 38th minute, Mönchengladbach can have some fun with the 10 men of Leverkusen. There's Marcus Thuram, great pass to Masani, play! It's 3-0. Mönchengladbach are running away with it. And no surprise, the 10 men of Leverkusen are getting torn apart. And Borussia Mönchengladbach's Champions League hopes all the time in this match are getting boosted. Brilliant pass from Masani, played by Marcus Thuram. Great composed strike from the number 10. And that surely is the nail in the coffin for Bayer Leverkusen's hopes in this match, and maybe for the title as well. Very pleased there. I'm sure the fans would be delighted to see this for a change. Marcus Thuram's got his 5th goal in the Bundesliga, and would you believe it? I wasn't expecting this, that's for sure. It's Borussia Mönchengladbach 3, Bayer Leverkusen 0. On to the added time of this first half, and the first half concludes for this match. And Mönchengladbach firmly in control on the pitch and on the score sheet. That mistake from Bayer Leverkusen's captain Bender has certainly cost Leverkusen. They have fallen apart, with Borussia Mönchengladbach putting on some really truly outstanding pieces of play in terms of their attacking perspective. And at half-time, it is 3-0 to the Foles. Fantastic. That's certainly going to boost the hopes of the Champions League. And in the other game, it's VfL Wolfsburg 0, Borussia Dortmund 2. On to the second half highlights. And Mönchengladbach have got the ball, and that's a brilliant pass from Andre Silva. And here's a sunny play. Oh, and he's passed it back to Marcus Thuram. And Marcus Thuram's got his 2nd goal of the game. It's 4-0 to Mönchengladbach. Leverkusen are heading... Well, Bayer Leverkusen are absolutely getting destroyed here. There's no hope for Bayer Leverkusen now. This is certainly the tonic that Mönchengladbach needs. 4 goals scored against one of the top sides in the league. And hopefully we can keep a clean sheet as well. That'll be even better. We haven't kept a clean sheet in... we haven't kept a clean sheet actually since the 6-0 win. No, 1-0 win against Hoffenheim, I believe so. Marcus Thuram's now got 6 goals in the Bundesliga, and the fans are celebrating and enjoying themselves. It's 4-0 to Mönchengladbach. On the 74th minute, Mönchengladbach just keep on going. They want more goals. Here's Marcus Thuram, and he's passed it back to Kramer, and it's going to go in, and Andre Silva's got another one. It's 5. Poor Bayer Leverkusen getting ripped to shreds. And Mönchengladbach, after all the pain they've suffered in recent matches in the Bundesliga, you can tell that the players are not giving up in this race for the top 4. This sends an anonymous message to their rivals Leipzig and Hoffenheim and Wolfsburg, and even maybe Dortmund as well, that Mönchengladbach are still in the fight. Brilliant. Another calm, composed finish from Andre Silva, who's now got 10 goals in the Bundesliga. He's starting to replicate his European goal-scoring form in the Bundesliga. It's 5-0. Certainly wasn't expecting that. And there goes the full-time whistle. a 5-star display from Borussia Mönchengladbach. That red card certainly cost Bayer Leverkusen dear, as Mönchengladbach then pounced and ripped him to shreds. And Borussia Mönchengladbach deservedly pick up their first victory in 3 matches. And the top 4 hopes are back on track. 2 goals from Marcus Thuram and Andre Silva, and plus a goal from Masane Play, means it's finished here. Borussia Mönchengladbach 5, Bayer Leverkusen 0. Fantastic. And the result around the other grounds, Wolfsburg lost 2-1 to Borussia Dortmund, so that's going to affect their hopes of Champions League football. Let's take a look then at the Bundesliga table then. Bayern Munich are now comfortably at the top now with 75 points, 24 wins, 3 draws, just 1 defeat, 73 goals scored, 11 conceded, the best attack and defence in the league, and probably will be for the rest of the season. Bayer Leverkusen still a second with 67 points, 21 wins, 4 draws, 3 defeats, 56 goals scored, but 24 goals conceded. I think their title hopes have ended, that's for sure. Well, probably. We'll have to wait and see. But Borussia Dortmund is third with 64 points. They've got 20 wins, 4 draws, 4 defeats, 57 goals scored, 18 conceded, the second best attack and defence in the league. Red Bull Leipzig still sit in 4th place with 55 points. They have 17 wins, 4 draws and 6 defeats, 50 goals scored, 26 conceded. They are 5 points ahead of us. But Mönchengladbach and Red Bull Leipzig have a game in hand. Borussia Mönchengladbach, speaking of them, are 5th with 50 points, 15 wins, 5 draws, 7 defeats, 54 goals scored, 26 conceded. So we've got a bit of an advantage over Leipzig on the goal difference side. VfL Wolfsburg 6th with 49 points, 15 wins, 4 draws, 9 defeats, 50 goals scored, 26 conceded. TSG Hoffenheim are 7th with the same amount of points, scoring 29 goals and conceding 40 goals, and conceding 29. Hertha Berlin was 8th there, and you saw the rest of the top 10 there. I think it was Eintracht Frankfurt and Werder Bremen that completed the top 10. 11th is FC Köln with 34 points. Fortuna Düsseldorf is 12th with 31 points. FC Augsburg is 13th with 30 points. Mainz is 14th with 24 points. 15th is Nuremberg with 22 points. In the relegation playoff and relegation zone, we've got Hannover 96 with 15 points. 4 wins, 3 draws, 21 defeats, 23 goals scored, 58 conceded. FC Schalke is in the relegation zone, but only on goal difference now. They've got 3 wins, 6 draws, 19 defeats, 23 goals scored, 61 conceded. VfB Stuttgart still stuck at the bottom with 10 points. 2 wins, 4 draws, 22 defeats, 18 goals scored, 17 conceded. By far the worst attack and defence in the Bundesliga. The Champions League results, the round of 16. Real Madrid beat Atalanta 7-2 on aggregate. Liverpool, the holders, beat Bayern Munich, the German champions, 2-0. Juventus lost 5-3 to FC Barcelona, the Spanish champions. And Olympique Lyonnais beat the Dutch champions Ajax 4-2 on aggregate. In the other results, Inter Milan beat the French champions Paris Saint-Germain 3-2 on aggregate. Manchester City lost to Spanish side Atletico Madrid 3-2 on aggregate. Valencia edged out Napoli 3-2 on aggregate as well. And Tottenham Hotspur destroyed Red Bull Leipzig 5-1 on aggregate. Just wish I could replicate that in real life. On to the quarterfinals, and Olympique Lyonnais will play Atletico Madrid. Liverpool have an easy tie against Valencia. Tottenham Hotspur will play Barcelona, and Real Madrid have a tasty tie against Inter Milan. And the round of 16 results in the Europa League, Turkish champions Galatasaray lost 5-1 to Borussia Dortmund. Wolverhampton Wanderers lost 4-1 to Italian side Lazio. Dutch team PSV Eindhoven lost 6-1 to Manchester United, and FC Porto lost 2-0 on aggregate to Bayer Leverkusen. And we'll go on to the second page of the round of 16 results. There we go. And Chelsea, the Europa League holders, lost 2-1 on aggregate to the specialists Sevilla. Wolfsburg beat AS Roma 2-1 on aggregate. And RC Strasbourg, the surprise package in the Europa League, they go through to the quarterfinals. They beat RSD Espanyol 3-1 on aggregate as well. Let's take a look then at the quarterfinal draw. And RC Strasbourg will play Italian side Lazio. We have a German tie as VfL Wolfsburg will play Borussia Mönchengladbach. Borussia Dortmund will play Sevilla. And Manchester United will host Bayer Leverkusen. So let's take a look then at the preview of the next episode as Werder Bremen, and as we begin the episode with Bundesliga action away at Werder Bremen. Hopefully we can continue our good form which we had against Bayer Leverkusen. Then we begin the first leg of the UEFA Europa League quarter-final away at the Volkswagen Arena against VfL Wolfsburg. And then we will conclude the episode with a home match in the league against struggling Hannover 96. So yeah, I'd just like to say thank you very much for watching. Hope you're enjoying the series. I certainly am. And we will see you all for the next episode. Take care of yourselves. Thank you.